for you. It's you! The murderer!
How are things, Henry?
All quiet.
I hope it'll last until evening.
I've been hearing that Sigismund is about to pack his bags and get the hell out of Gutenberg.
Quick! Whoa!
You again?
Look out!
About did seven. Here you go.
So quick.
Well, Zavish would have been happy to sell it to me, but he didn't want me to get. It took a lot of persuading to convince him.
And what about my horse? Where's...
I'm still.
Get going then! What are you whistling for?
If thine eyes offend thee, pluck them out. If thine tongue offend thee, cut it out. Return to God. Pray and beg.
Hey, little, I say, intoxicating. The smell of a human corpse.
Christ wounds! Watch out with that horse!
Stop that!
Hey!
My friend!
Watch where you're going.
Good people, refrain from sin. Satan is going round our city, and the only defense is piety.
Come and take your pick.
I'll be keeping my eye on you.
Roads, vegetables, fresh, everything fresh.
What'll it be, you bum?
Show me your wares.
Maybe next time, then.
Show me your wares.
Nothing. Suits your fancy, eh?
Vegetables, horseradish here, delicious horseradish. Come and get some wonderful horseradish.
See that Coxman woman showing up? You my ass. She made it out.
Was machst du? Du Nervensäge! Get out!
How about you go somewhere else? It's a good idea.
Christmas. The priest mistook her for a toad.
Good.
Come on then. Oh, you can't stand up to this. Nice.
I tried to make peace with her, but she slammed the door in my face. I'm not going to humiliate myself a second time. What is it?
I'll be keeping an eye.
Yeah, don't spare him. You led him on nicely.
Peace and quiet. This is a path.
Hey, what are you lying here for?
Last chance. Wine wares. virtue. Especially in these times, we have to heed the command.
Buy 2 pots. I've got lots. Have a bowl as well.
And the tavern too.
Buy 2 pots. I've got lots. Have a bowl as
I'll be closing soon. Shop while you can.
Ribbons of all colours.
horseradish. Delicious horseradish.
Who's here?
Don't shove.
Thin bowls, strong pots. Inexpensive but high
A wonderful
quality.
day for a wonderful purchase.
Pots for sale.
Vegetables.
Linen canvas. The softest linen canvas.
Why are you bothering?
I ain't going.
Let's make up, shall we? Here's some compensation.
All right. But I'll be keeping my eye on you.
I hear one Franta cooldown is supposed to come and pick up new clothes from you.
You're too late. Franta already came and picked up the goods. You just missed him. Buy 2 pots. I've got lots. Store's closing. Last. Sound as a bell.
Nächstes Mal aufgemisst, Kern. Don't you think I don't know who you are?
It is better to learn with a true Meister like me.
You are a brave fechter. Why not test yourself against the Meister? No man in Kuttenberg is as good as
Last
men.
chance.
Look out!
Fine wares.
You don't belong here.
Stores closing. Last chance. Mind where you're going.
What do you want, lad?
You must be Franta cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I run around like a bugger with pitchers so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
I just have to get in there, understand? I have an important message for the king about a plot against him.
But why would you want to get to him as a waiter?
But it could be that someone from the council is mixed up in it, so I have to be incognito. See?
I see. All right, then. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Of course. Who do you take me for?
All right. No need to get upset. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly, or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You better not. About time.
Wie schade. Auf Wiedersehen.
Last chance. Fine wares.
Why don't you go somewhere else? For good, ideally.
A wonderful day for a wonderful purchase.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
He got poisoned. Probably from food. He's writhing in agony. By turns praying and cursing, spewing from both ends.
Oh, that's enough. All right. At least you're here.
We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on.
So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have. Hose are good. It's a good thing you've got no steel on you. You need to be light on your feet to run around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are?
For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
I'm no greenhorn. I have plenty of experience. Not long ago, I poured wine for the Archbishop of Mainz.
Oh, I see. Forgive me. But allow me to give you one piece of advice. Sir Adam of Zarjitz will be among the guests. Don't pour wine for him. Otherwise he'll get drunk and disgrace us all in front of the king. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
Absolutely. I'm a waiter, after all. Not some street gossip monger.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even rise on the social ladder. Not just anyone can serve the King of Hungary, but you'll manage it. Right?
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
Unversüchlich. Our current
There are the
Waffen
pictures of
arsenal
wine.
is a joke. And on top of
Hopefully
that,
I won't
the
splash
army
anyone's
is
shoes.
requisitioning from it.
Hey, wait,
Should
poor
the
Mr.
town
Guy.
reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who
apologize, sir.
freed Hinnick, the
Which
Dry
one?
Devil,
White
used
Tokai.
that thing. That Hackenbücher. Hand cannon. Can you believe it? Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them, since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott.
sir.
It is eine Schande when outlaws have better weapons
Thank you,
than the
waiter.
city garrison. And Herr König surely knows this too.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
Careful!
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this is. The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with a few rusty helmets.
Hey, waiter.
And who is it
Pour
you
me
want
some
to
monastery
fight?
wine.
Exactly. The merciful King Sigismund is providing us with protection, isn't he?
It's not that long ago that some bandits burned down Bohunovitz. Nobody dealt with
Well,
them.
thank the
or, as
Lord.
far as I know, even started investigating. Der König has his own concerns at home. And one day he will withdraw his army.
Quiet! The king may turn up at any moment. What if he heard you?
What then? We're sitting atop the biggest silver heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
I fancy some
We can
Tokai.
always
Refill, boy.
confiscate the...
We are more than familiar with the jämmerlich state of our armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes...
Hey, where's
The
my
king
white?
fears that this
Sir?
town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia
Well,
as a
thank
preparation
the
for
Lord.
war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind.
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the
Hey,
streets.
don't make me beg.
So, the cleanliness of the city is not what it should be. The current baths in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
You're
The
right, Jerome.
cathedral will be
But a woman
standing
named
before you
Betty
bring
has
me
showed
that
up at
white.
Hockrink. I want to repair the baths that used to be
Thanks,
there.
thanks.
She's a protege of Maresh. Her efforts are commendable, but I don't think she
More
will
wine,
succeed.
Master Bailiff.
It takes a
I
firm
have enough
hand,
wine.
of
Come
soft,
closer.
feminine fingers.
A moment ago, you were complaining there weren't enough baths. Shouldn't we support her?
Something like this is better handled by trustworthy people, like my friend Bob.
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
Are you questioning God's plan? The Black Death had nothing to do with the baths.
I can't.
The Lord wishes to...
I'm supposed to serve the lords.
You're supposed to do what you're told. But suit yourself. I'll go and get it myself after the assembly.
Who is going to wash where and how is a waste of time.
Waiter, pour me
It's only
red
a
wine.
waste of time because we're always arguing about the same thing.
Not at all.
Sir?
If you'd finally admit that it's a trifle, we wouldn't have to keep coming back to it.
A trifle? Do you ever walk the streets here? Sewage, rats, slop, and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense. Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nas's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree. What if the king heard us?
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way, at least until His Majesty honors us with his visit. And as we know, Gunslin absolutely hates him.
He can hate all... once.
Hey, waiter!
As long as he
pour
does
me
no
some
damage.
monastery wine.
Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well, I'm not sure what you're implying.
Horseshit! You know full well. Everybody knows.
Monastery wine.
With you.
Here.
Compose yourself, Adam, and stop drinking. The king might come any time now.
Well, thanks the Lord.
Let's not burden the anointed monarch with such...
Me? Compose myself? Me? I beg your pardon.
boy.
I
Full cup of
demand that
monastery
you...
wine.
Ruhe! Franz, please continue.
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Oh,
Sorry.
just a small misunderstanding. We've
Thank
sorted
you,
it out
waiter.
and
Everything's settled. My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard? Besides,
Hey, waiter,
if his men
pour me
attack
some
yours,
Tokai.
as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like Rutard, true, but in this case it really was nothing.
Sorry.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I heard there were
Well,
several
thank the
dead.
Lord.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Rutard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild and do whatever they
Waiter,
want.
get
I
me
suspect
what?
the gentleman from the city's sword fighting school brought this custom to us. That German, Menhard,
Sorry.
is just hanging around the market looking for trouble.
Don't be ridiculous,
hang around me.
Forsooker.
Vanish, you hear me?
You act like you've never been in a fight yourself. And to accuse a swordsmaster without a shred of proof.
Boy, come
We're
here
not
for
some
a
old
moment.
fishwives in the marketplace.
So you will just leave it be?
Refill, sir.
Proven
Do you think I come to
offences
the
are
council just
punished
to guzzle
by the
wine?
bailiff.
Come here.
And that's that. There are more pressing matters to deal with.
More pressing than the open contempt of the whole town garrison. The guards are apparently settling accounts their own way. We'll soon be the laughingstock of the whole town.
You can rest assured the whole town is already laughing at us all day long. So what if they have one more reason?
My words exactly. The town council is squabbling constantly at the Emperor Charles, and no one is left unscathed.
And you, a councillor, let people throw dirt on our work?
If I threw out everyone who complains over a beer, I'd soon be out of customers.
Ah, to hell with it. We'll never get anywhere like this. Why waste our time?
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now, but if you disappear for a little while...
All right. I'll get them.
I knew I could count on you. While you're at it, count how many figures on the mural have wings.
But... why?
Because I'm bored, and because I told you. Get on with it.
I'm supposed to serve the wine, not go wandering around the building with it. That was easy enough. And he wanted me to count the winged figures.
Task. Have you forgotten? So, let's see what you've got for me.
I found your gloves, sir.
Really? Let's see them. And did you count those winged figures?
I counted 16, sir.
And did you count all the monsters and animals?
Oh, I thought you meant only the angels.
Go back to serving wine, blockhead.
There's the eternal dispute over the cathedrals. The building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers.
I'll have a cup
right
of
under our
wine.
noses.
A nice
It's just a village with a monastery, and they are going to mock a royal mining city. Why can't we build faster? Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Because those so-called craftsmen are a band of parasites. You pay
I didn't
them,
want this wine.
They come late.
Forgive me,
Or
sir.
report
I must
sick.
have misheard.
And if they do come, their work is shit, and you have to pay someone else to put it right. It's a waste of time. I tell you, a waste of time.
Adam, don't interrupt the
Boy,
proceedings.
I'd
with
like
your
some
drunken
white.
ranting, even if you are in the right.
Sir?
And as for you, Endelin, haven't you noticed there's a war going
Good.
on?
Now run along.
Are the experts from far off supposed to work in a city under siege?
Besides, I get the feeling there's something other than the welfare of the city behind your complaints.
Oh, you do? Do you? And what would that be?
Hey,
Like,
boy,
for
a
instance,
full cup of monastery
that
wine.
you'd like to have your own altar there?
So what if I would?
Hold your horses, gentlemen. That space in the side nave is mine.
Then hell freezes over, my friend. Your place is at least 2 steps
Come now,
behind mine.
waiter.
A
I wanted red.
swordsmith dares to insult me? Ha! I think not.
Thank you, waiter.
Excuse me? You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my seat for the services our guild provided and still provides to the crown.
Well, I hope you're not supplying equipment to the army. If that's all they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Obrink.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course. People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Oh, this is news to me.
Because it has all been sorted out. Not long ago, the guards raided and threw them all out.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten. What do we have to discuss next?
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Azonal Tüchagase, Elegio Petonaikat, Ishkelkinek Udra.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Like this banner fights!
Come now, Father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malashov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
nice
What
one.
are you skulking around for, you crook?
God bless.
God be with you, friend.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Gutenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you looking for friends among us?
Let us say rather that we have chosen a side. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzik Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
I reckon the two of you would hit it off. He's reliable and has his heart in the right place. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry, and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Kobila, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Good health.
L'chaim.
Everything all right? You look a bit out of sorts.
I can't wait for it to end so we can get out of here.
I reckon you'd have to be pretty brave to come and mingle with the Kuttenberg lords.
Or pretty pissed off.
Or that.
We will leave as soon as we can. Anyway, all of these worthy gentlemen will be relieved when we are out of sight.
Would you tell me something about your community? I haven't found out much so far.
What can I tell you? It was never exactly glorious. And now especially, everyone is quaking that what is still left to us will be taken away.
Surely it won't be that bad.
There are many fools who would rather take out their gall on us and start to fight among themselves. In times of uncertainty, it is always the sons of Israel who are the first to be stricken.
glad you finally accepted my invitation.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin. A friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
I beg your pardon, but I'm not looking to make friends here.
But you seek allies, no? Is it not in a sense the same thing? The friend of my friend is also my friend, and you say you know Henri, a likable boy, although he could still learn quite a lot from moi-même.
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but surely.
How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Gothenburg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
You're quite mistaken, Monsieur Baron. I have.
Ah, je suis désolé. This Bohemia is a strange land. I have seen farmhands, children, and even women fighting. But the clergy? Sainte Mère, do tell me about it. No doubt you fought on the side of truth and honor.
My last big battle was in Kosovo.
I've heard of this battle. Many great men fell there.
Aye. And it was there I decided it was nothing for me. So I settled down in the presbytery in Ujits.
Then, what are you doing here, at a meeting of opponents of the crown?
Ah, the Lord moves in mysterious ways. You say you're a poet? How about a verse or two to amuse us?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a fuss to you? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood. And besides, few here would understand me.
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids, and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
It depends what it's all about.
A little delicate diplomacy. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings.
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But
well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition. But we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
When Sigismund sees that, he'll be off to Hungary all the sooner. At a gallop.
Exactly. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves. But he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Botchek of Kunstadt, Hamann Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
Tell me a bit more about those people, so I know who I'm dealing with.
Certainly. Who do you want to start with?
Botchek of Kunststadt. I know the name, but I can't quite place him.
That's just the thing. He's got massive estates, great influence, but he holds back. He doesn't play the big game, because he doesn't like to take risks. He always goes for the sure thing. But once he's made his mind up, not even a pair of oxen will hold him back.
Alder the Alderman. Wasn't he a Kuttenberg councillor?
He still is. The only one who retained his position after the city was taken. Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund in Kuttenberg. So his days in the council are numbered. But he'll continue to have a strong influence on the guilds and the rich burghers. And that's why we need him.
Anna of Waldstein. The widow of that rich mine owner. What was his name?
Wenzel Bartosz. And I'm not surprised you forgot.
I was quite surprised to see her here. Assemblies like this are more of a...
A male affair? So far, Godwin, so far. Anna is holding back and behaving like an exemplary young widow. But don't trust appearances. She's got claws, she knows how to do her sums, and she certainly has no love lost for Sigismund.
And what use can she be to us? Apart from her late husband's money, of course.
She's as sharp as they come when it comes to trade. And she knows a thing or two about diplomacy. There are wicked tongues that claim Bartosz acquired most of his wealth thanks to her, and that it was thanks to her that he died, too.
Why me, of all people?
Because you've got a head on your shoulders. You know how to talk, and you're not... You and your friend Henry are similar in that respect. There aren't many like you two left.
What if it doesn't work?
I refuse to even consider that outcome. Because it would mean slow, but certain defeat for all of us.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Success to our plans.
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of these.
Innkeeper!
Not
a
even
beer.
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Pah, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them.
Well, we have...
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to harass my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Alder.
Well, I'm having a word...
I apologize.
For interrupting our conversation?
Or is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up, then. What are you doing here?
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
You're exaggerating.
Like me? Exaggerating? You're the one who turned my home into a house of your whores wandering around as if they owned the place.
Oh, actually, anything fun was strict, but maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime. Then maybe you wouldn't be such a bitter old grouch.
You're dishonoring your home.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor.
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
I'm not happy about it, but I accept. This isn't how I imagined my first meeting with my brother.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Cover your right
They
side.
teach you that in the seminary?
You've got a gap there I can drive a car through.
Wanker! You can't stand up to this. You're fast.
Stand firm.
No, you don't.
Otherwise, the first strike will put you on your arse.
That was sneaky.
Look in my eyes, not at my sword. Lift the arm lower.
Hey, who taught you that?
What's wrong with your legs?
They
don't
teach
know
you that
which
in the
end of
seminary?
that thing is up. Swing with your whole arm, not just your wrist. Sum quicque tribue.
Enough. That will do.
God be with you, neighbor.
Good to see you.
My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. You could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right, and you ought to know yourself.
Aye. Well...
So Father would be... Only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down.
Not at all. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3...
I always wondered who you were.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder.
Aye. The outcome of this war depends on it.
That sounds very important, considering you and Alder are both pretty small players. After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
Do I have any choice?
If it's really that important.
All right. It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees...
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
Mind where you're going. Mind where you're going.
Greetings to you, friend.
day. Same to you.
Spices.
We're trying to forge an alliance against our common enemy.
They're trying... Sir Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Yobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
Are we not on the same side?
We are, but an alliance is of no use if it doesn't also guarantee safety.
Doesn't that seem to you a little... cowardly?
If you hesitate to kiss a bear's ass, is that cowardice or sound judgment? I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund?
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
What's wrong with him? He's young, he's handsome, women are fighting over him. Yitka will like him, and he'll give her a whole bunch of children.
And to half the wenches in his domain too, eh? On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on, despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
So, will you support our plan?
You're selling the skin of a boar that's still grunting. First, I want a confirmation that the wedding will take place.
And what if Lord Capon...
I don't care what the young lord thinks. If he agrees, I'll be...
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a...
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
Take a look at that.
Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
I've gained us a powerful ally.
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the Elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt? My Christ, he's the last one I'd have expected to step up. How the hell did you do it?
Well, there's one little catch. I had to promise him... I don't even know how to begin.
Out with it.
Lord Kunstadt has a niece, so... I arranged a betrothal for young Lord Capon, with your blessing if you agree.
Hans Capon is to marry Yitka of Kunstadt. Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, Young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Yes.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassar. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
Cheers!
Cheers to you, and to your parleying skills.
Praise the Lord.
Good day.
Clouds and ruffians, eh? I keep saying this country needs a firm hand. I saw that firm hand of yours with my own eyes. Some
I've got some good news and some bad news for you.
The bad news is there's hardly any females in this whole damned place. There's some old bat standing there with two young girls, but she watches over them like a mother hen. So at least tell me the good news.
You're going to get married.
Good one. Is she at least pretty?
I don't know. I've never seen her.
You're really a barrel of laughs, Godwin. Wait till Hannah hears this. Now, enough nonsense. Let's have a drink to your health and my freedom.
To your health. God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
How do you know Liechtenstein is behind it?
I know most of the people here very well. Many of them certainly have doubts about the Margrave's plans. But they wouldn't dream of stating them aloud. While it seems that Lord Liechtenstein, on the contrary, sees his opportunity.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all...
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to...
I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
You manage large estates. In return for your generosity, we offer you protection.
I've managed quite well up to now, taking care of my own resources. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps...
Do you have something in particular?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Harman Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorim's groom has eyes everywhere.
How are you getting on so far?
Aside from the happy family reunion...
I'd almost forgotten about that little detail. But...
Father is getting old. There were times when he could keep yelling...
Keep it up. We've still got a lot of work to do. Just don't overdo it with the wine. No one takes a walking wineskin seriously.
Ja, noch mehr, bitte.
To success.
Look out.
Thanks. Oh, basket of...
Aye. After all that, we haven't heard this one.
Take a look at that.
What brings you here? God bless.
Aren't you a bit bored?
What's your problem? The horses are fed and watered. I'm not idle.
God forbid. But standing around here must be a pain in the arse, no? You might get thirsty.
Not really. What of it?
I left something behind in the shed and now I need it. So, would you let me in?
Is that so? And what are you after there?
Wine. For Alderman Alder.
Wine? Like there's not rivers of the stuff all around here. Stop drinking and don't bother me. And if I see you creeping around this shed, you'll answer to me. You'd better go before people start to think you're trying to steal something. What brings you here? Don't you want to leave already? Well, are you going? Away with you! That's it. Go now.
Right? On top of it?
I've got those papers from...
Quiet!
My lady, with all the clamour going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein.
Thank you. No.
Yes, quite. But let's...
I'd like to, but I...
Wise. No matter. I shall drink a toast alone.
Exactly why we mustn't push too hard.
Sir Bocek, your niece Yivka.
So Hanushka...
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the...
Thank you.
Enough formality. We'll have...
Thank you, but I'd rather not drink. The evening has just begun.
Don't want to drink any rock gut today. Today I'm sticking to ale.
I'm still hoping it works out and we walk out of here with...
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstadt will support our cause.
Both of them? Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me. My lords?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes. And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslaus, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas!
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain. Up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits! Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
And drunks! Give them hell! Lazy fools, the lot of them.
How dare you?
Some of you are even swelling right here in the city council meeting. This is unbelievable.
Remove this swill pot from the hall immediately.
I'm telling the truth. This whole council is a farce. The whole city knows it.
Lord of Zarjits, your insolence just cost you your place on the council, and a month in the dungeon.
But...
Hopefully that'll be enough for him to sober up. And if not, put him in the pillory for a while, bailiff.
I'll see to it as soon as the council is over, Your Majesty.
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore place the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly. We have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh, but rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against him. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very easy. They made a puppet out of him.
Waiter! Once you
Keep your
restore
distance.
order, they'll join you.
Step
All you
away
have to
from
do
the
is
king
promise them
now.
the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobs does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities. And get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Margaret. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, your majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the consul was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Raposh. Odorin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Odorin, we can handle Ruthard easy. Rabosh will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No. We shall have white. We have had enough of it.
White it is. Quickly! If Raposh falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be. We could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
But to bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
say that Lord Kronstadt was going with them? A long time ago. And I swear to God, I saw him here a little while ago. He was still Aye, that's the one. What's old Kronstadt doing without a front?
Then you will wake up naked somewhere with a mighty hangover.
Yeah, well.
Here's there.
You're right.
Are you in need of something, my well-oiled friend?
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. As they say, all's well that ends well. So, to brighter tomorrows.
Touching.
Come now. What's become of your poetic soul?
I never had one.
Truly? Not even a little?
Oh, maybe once. The older I get, the worse it is. Give me a few more years and I'll become a professional mourner.
See now. I'll gladly drink to that with you. Only, there's nothing to drink. We've run dry.
Fuck. I've got a tongue like a slice of weak old bread after all that gabbing.
Well, get something wet for us then.
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs, he can't make it as far as the keg.
To hell with that keg slop. Your father surely has something better stored away. I had my eye on him all evening. He had pictures brought from somewhere for himself and his closest friends, and left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs. Try and find one of those pictures for us, eh? I'm sure you can manage that.
You can bet on it. I've got a nose for booze.
I don't doubt it. Get sniffing quick.
The roast was calling out to me, begging to be eaten.
Fall in.
Aye. At least you can swim. I drown.
Damn it. Your name is unpronounceable.
For the piglet. To be eaten.
Ah, come on, That is about... How'd you like our wine, Chevalier?
The art of winemaking has a long tradition in La Belle France.
Recipes are passed on from father to son, and each generation brings them to perfection. I myself was practically raised on wine. How many I have tasted. Even the French royal court took note of my refined taste. The king himself able according to my advice.
I expect his lordship had the best barrels rolled out.
Best barrels? Mon ami, this wine would perhaps be suited to the infirmary, where it would suffice for cleaning wounds and easing pain. Give me 100 knights in full armor.
About the girls? Or the piglet?
Now we close our doors for the evening. People here know what to do. There'll be plenty more tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday too.
Stop shouting!
But when it comes to affairs of state, he splashes out like there's no tomorrow.
I swear to God, I saw him here a little while ago. He was sneaking around with the widow of Bartosz.
Hunger, poverty, and plague, it's too much for a man to take. Even men of faith are cowering, faced by evil overpowered.
But good wine on the table is a compelling argument in any debate going on around it.
What does it matter? We reached an agreement. It is going to take time to raise an army.
But when it comes to affairs of state, he splashes out.
Begging to be eaten.
I couldn't resist it either.
Do you get it, Father?
Please, call me Rabbi, Lord Cape.
Oh, whatever. Fuck it.
And you
Well, the groom isn't looking too happy at the moment.
Oh.
I...
The day scrubbing that floor.
God be with you, and with you.
Just when I can run straight.
You're wrong. In a battle, your life depends on your steed. And some easily spooked pony is the last thing you need.
My butcher fellows is no pony.
Gracious, you couldn't think of a fancier name?
At least you can tell by the name that the horse is immensely valued.
It depends. Well, we can all agree that the name Bucephilus signifies higher value.
Yes. Anyway, looking at him closely, I reckon he's more of a draft horse. There are a few of those around my mind, too.
I beg your pardon?
What kind of name is Bucephilus, anyway?
It's
pronounced Bucephalus.
Sweating at the open, nearly drops his...
May I interrupt you for a moment?
You already did, didn't you?
What's the matter?
Just look at him.
Everyone keeps saying that the prettiest girls in the whole county serve the Yoderans at Rabosh. I didn't believe it. But I can see there's some truth in it.
What are you blabbering about?
Haven't you had a little too much wine, perhaps?
Not at all. I could drink every man here under the table. Want me to show you?
No need. I believe you.
Stop bothering us and go pester someone else. Dasha isn't interested.
You don't need an expensive horse for battle. You just need one that can run straight.
May I interrupt you for a...
You already did.
What's the matter?
One of the most esteemed guests ordered more wine.
All over the place.
I meant the really fine wine. The kind that Martin Udran would drink.
No way. Sir Martin ordered for it to be served only to him and a few of his favorites.
Have you seen the state he's in? Tomorrow, he won't even remember what was agreed here today. Anyway, he'll never miss one jug of wine if it disappears.
All right. Them pictures are on a table in the cellar. But you didn't hear it from me.
Now off you go and leave us alone.
Phallus, anyway. It's pronounced Bucephalus. This guy.
Greetings. Can't it wait till morning?
They're young. They'll have plenty of time to cultivate that happiness.
How come you're still here, sir? Weren't you supposed to travel with Sir Hanush? Raise an army, prepare a wedding feast and all that?
All hail Jobst. He sorted out things here nicely. He got my money for a start, and that's more than I wanted to give him. But you know how it goes. Give them a finger. I explained to the Margrave that I'm not going anywhere, and I sent my captain with him. He's still young and full of piss and vinegar. I'm too old and fond of my comfort.
Did you at least discuss with Hanush where the wedding will take place?
Nothing to discuss. It'll be at our castle Potstein, of course. It's the pride of our family. We can fit in 3 times more people than here, and that still wouldn't be much.
Ah, but there are 2 castles in Rattay. I'd bet my right arm old Hanush will want to have the wedding there.
What? In Rattay? Well, I ought to look into that then.
But deal with him yourself, though. I won't be your gent's messenger anymore. Evening, my esteemed lady. I haven't yet had the opportunity to make your acquaintance.
No matter. I know who you are. Although Martin hardly spoke of you, from what I heard, I could conjure up a pretty good picture.
No offense, man. But whatever picture you paint of me, I have reason enough to believe it's a mistake.
Indeed. So the stories of how in your youth you used to drag a different chambermaid to your bed every night is nothing but slander?
And I also heard that you once fell drunk into the trench in front of the fortress.
All right, I confess to that one. But nothing happened to either me or the horse.
And is it not true that one of your paramours made off with your late mother's jewelry?
We are all sinners, Mom. And besides, that was 20 years ago. A person can change a lot in that time.
Unquestionably. My husband is living proof of it. No more than I.
Would you kindly introduce your two companions?
This is Lady Christina, second wife of Lord Binic of Nostitz. She's standing in for him here today.
Nice to meet you, sir.
It's rather noisy here, ma'am.
It is, a bit. But that's all part of celebrations, and today we have course...
Wouldn't you prefer a little privacy?
Restrain your ardor. You're not the first to try and lure my girls somewhere out of my sight. If you want to amuse yourself with them, I insist on being present, or you may be on your way.
But I had no wish to.
And while you're on your way...
Do I look like a servant?
No, but surely you wouldn't leave these young ladies to suffer thirst. Be so kind and bring us another pitcher of wine. I don't know what's in those kegs, and I don't intend to try it out.
Not a bad one.
Having a good time? It's a fucking bore. These old farts here have no idea what fun is.
Well, what are you missing? There's wine, food, even a few females worth the same.
Nah, I'd rather have a game of dice. Or a good punch-up.
Don't you dare get into a fight with anyone. You know what a fuck-up that would be.
Aye, I forgot. Only the younger Lord of Rabors is allowed to give anyone here a pasting. Leave it out. Well, they wouldn't have to force me. That young nitwit was asking for it.
Well, let's have a game.
Fuck.
I don't play for...
Well, you can stuff yourself in.
Just mispronounced the name. I'm telling you, give it a year and sing it.
That we didn't end up like that poor son.
Are you surprised? He's a bitter contrary, old goat.
Yeah. Keep going.
So you keep saying, Holy God.
Without us so far.
About the girls?
Well, a nice, rich bride. Fucking for dowry's gonna take out of his son.
Excuse-moi. Half of the French court knows me by that name.
That we didn't end up like that poor son.
Sigismund will be gone.
And I will tell you, we won't get rid of him that easily. And I will tell you, we won't get rid of him that easily. Everyone's being too hopeful here.
You're talking bollocks.
I spent half the day scrubbing that floor.
Sorry.
From cleaning up this pigsty? Any time.
I've come to rescue you from work and responsibilities.
Really? Why don't you save that sweet talk and tell me what you want?
Well, it occurred to me we...
Of course. What else? Do you play dice?
You mean strip dice?
You strip if you like. Either way, you'll end up bare-assed and with an empty purse.
I'll give that a miss, thanks.
Not up to it? Look, if you want a bit of fun, go and see Dasha. She slept with half the fortress. And the whole village. All day long, they're trying to agree on something they won't remember.
Greetings.
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
What do you think? A fortress full of hungry mouths and...
I haven't eaten so well in a long time. Lord Odoran was fortunate in...
He didn't have to choose me. My old ma spent her whole life in this kitchen, and my grandmother before her. God rest them both.
Wait, you're Kvieta's daughter, Madlenka.
It's been a long time since anyone has called me by that name. I was afraid you'd forgotten me.
You haven't changed at all.
But I have. And you've changed too. You left a haughty young pup, and now you return...
No.
Not at all. The years have been kind.
Why don't we go somewhere together? Somewhere private. And reminisce about the old days.
You really haven't changed at all. You ought go and have a drink and stop chasing girls. I mean, it's embarrassing at your age.
It depends. Well, if we all agree that the name Bushevos signifies higher value.
God grant you health.
Looking at him closely. There are a few of those around my mines, too.
I beg your pardon.
What kind of name?
You're talking bollocks. Once the Obs raises an army, he'll sit himself and run back to Hungary. Why would he do that?
Do you get it, Father?
Please.
Beginning.
Ah, in short, everyone heard.
And who is this young? Well, I remember someone saying something about...
So you keep saying...
Any debate going on around it. What does it matter?
It's going to take time to raise an army. Until then...
But when it comes to affairs of state...
Come on, someone will see us.
Hey? They won't. Come here.
Feast, anyway.
Don't complain. I haven't eaten so well in a long time.
You can drink and stuff your floor anywhere. French court knows me by that name.
Well, my friends now. Here, nobody knows. But that is a noted shame. The defense of Götterberg was just beginning. Quite a farcical beginning. Knights in full armor. Get rid of him that easily. Everyone's speed. No use at all for battle.
You don't need an expensive horse for battle. You just need one that can run straight.
You're wrong. Battle. Gracious! You couldn't think much of your pay.
Oh, we'll all agree that the name Bourgeois signifies
You farmyard beast!
Dice.
I appreciate your friendship, but I'd rather run my own affairs.
I understand. Let's at least drink to your success.
And let's drink to the future of Lady Yitka. May her marriage to Lord Capon bring her happiness.
They're young. They'll have plenty of time to cultivate that happiness.
Well, the groom isn't looking too happy at the moment.
Have you ever thought about getting married again? It would make a lot of things easier for you.
And how should I interpret this question?
In the simplest terms, I'm offering you a business.
Oh, it's late.
Of course it's a horse. Not a bad one.
We didn't end up like that horse hut over there.
I'm filled with grief.
Half of us only came here for the feast anyway.
Don't complain. I haven't eaten so well in a long time.
Till then, Sigismund's men can trample over us one after another.
Come here.
Long time ago.
Hey, Rick! Where are we supposed to keep watch?
He was sneaking around with the widow of Hartog.
With Anna of Waldstein?
Aye, that's the one.
Baron Vaku Voku.
You get it, Father.
You should rejoice that you are to be
There are a few of those around my mines, too.
I beg your pardon.
What kind of name?
Wonder rules.
Sure.
Play.
And what might...
Let's keep it a secret. What the hell?
You bet. That the name Buceros signifies higher value?
Yes. Anyway, looking at him closely, I reckon
There are a few of those around my mines, too.
I beg your pardon.
What kind of...
Nothing mispronounce the name. And we're not talking about a horse, but a cock. Just look at him.
But you can hardly stand straight, Martin.
Bullocks. You're changing the subject, so you don't have
Finally. I hate this.
At least you can tell by the name. That the horse is immensely valuable.
Everybody likes a drop of white.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Rootheart. Not like that nag of yours.
What the hell do you beat it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir! Sir! There's some horsemen right out front of the fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. Wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to the celebration, you old fox.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty.
Hey! Hey! Intruders! Enemies at the gates!
Seize the nobles! Kill the rest!
No, he's too hammered for this.
Jesus! The surrounding Christopher can't make it on his own. Nice! Right! You got him!
wonder you're still standing.
You kick the bucket, you...
Leave him alone!
Godwin sucks at fighting.
Jesus! They're surrounding Christopher. He can't make it on his own.
Bleeding like a stuffy. Watch out!
Big mistake, you cunt.
Yeah! Not one step back! Stand your ground!
Fuck you! You won't be able to take another one like that. We'll take your ass. Hey! Get him! Show your stuff.
Come on, scum! That's right! Drive those horses out! Yeah, don't scare him! Try! Help me! I'm bleeding!
Great! Kill him! Quick! I'm just getting warmed up, you shit!
Go fuck yourself!
Take!
Now I'll show you. You won't be able to take another one like that.
You won't get me! You're dead.
Slice him up! You'll be fucking sorry! He's done for! Fuck you! Slice him up!
Oh, for Christ's sake.
I'll beat you to a bloody pulp, fucker! He's done for! Kick his ass!
That was a close shave.
A little too close. Oh, fuck me.
Do my eyes deceive me? Henry!
Godwin.
How did you get...
Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. You turned up at just the right moment.
Is everyone alright?
Well, some are, some aren't.
They captured Odorin, Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Conrad of Vector away too.
They wanted to slay the rest like dogs.
What about my father? And Hannes?
They left with Jobst long before that. I'm sure they're all right, but... not everyone was so lucky.
What happened, Godwin? Who died?
Anna of Waldstein. She didn't stand a chance against those butchers. May she rest in peace.
She was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And they almost killed my brother.
But only almost. Good work.
What do you mean, almost?
I got there in time to... Christopher tried to defend our father.
Old grievances aside, Odorin is an ally. The same as Rutard and Botchek.
Oh, they all have their quirks. Cousin Botchek's a money-grabbing magpie. But I wouldn't give up on the fucker either.
We'll have to wait for the other side's move anyway. We don't even know where von Berghow took them.
Where did they go? Back to Rattay?
They've got to raise an army for us. And I hope they fucking hurry.
So we have a plan to counter Sigismund?
More of a promise than a plan.
But, as you can see, our allies are getting scarce. We should lay low until Jobst gets back.
I'll gladly play dead for a while.
Be so kind. And don't speak of the dead.
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you. But von Bergov's people beat me here.
You knew he was coming.
Markvart bragged about it to Sigismund, and Sigismund promised to make him Lord of Raborsh in return.
When he sees what von Berghow did with it, he'll shit himself.
You find that funny? Do you like watching those foreigner dogs rampaging around and slaughtering innocents? Who else has to die before we do something about it?
Tell us about it. We were neck deep in corpses before you bothered to turn up.
Well, not you.
Fuck you, Jan. I'd trade places with you in a heartbeat, trust me.
We've lost a lot of allies. We'll have trouble finding new ones. They'll be afraid to even peep against Sigismund.
Well, are you surprised? Look around. Sigismund showed everyone what's coming for all who resist him.
Is there anything we can do?
Definitely not right now. We'll treat the wounded, bury the dead, get the hell out of here. Then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and wait for Jobst and his army.
If I survive the journey. Oh, God's teeth.
The king announced one more thing at the council. He asked the councillors to ransack the Jewish quarter. That is, he ordered it, more like.
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there. They could reveal a lot.
The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall. At least he's safe here.
They're our allies. We have to help them.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is lucky to be still breathing. I can just see them all jumping to their feet and rush to save their poor Jews.
Maybe Samuel will figure something out. He wanted to talk to you anyway.
He's here too?
Aye, escorting the rabbi. You should go and see them as soon as possible. And tell Liechtenstein too.
Anyway, we've got work to do. Godwin?
Give me a moment. I'll go and see Christopher first. Guard the walls until morning. If anyone shows up, I want to know about it. I'll be with Christopher.
Well, at least it was over quick. No, you almost took pinnacle push. That dry devil is tough as old boots. If a horse fell on me, I wouldn't get up again. One construct captured, the other...